only then will you be able to call. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you. And let us pray. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile, Chineke nna nke igwe onye anyị na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye ọbụla naanị ya na-achị, onye ọbụla naanị ya bụ mmụọ nke nwe mmụọ, onye ji ndụ mmadụ niile n'ọbara aka ya, onye ọbụla naanị ya na-ekpebi ngabiga nke mmadụ dị ndụ. Chineke nna onye anyị were Biafra wee nyefee n'aka, onye ọbụla naanị ya kwere anyị nkwa na Biafra ga-abịarịrị na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-arịọ arịrịọ n'isi ụtụtụ na nke ebere dị ngọzi n'ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra, ebe anyanwụ ụwa niile si wee malite. Wee na-arịọ gị ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị, ịma mma gị na ọmịiko gị n'ebe ndị gị nọ. Wee na-arịọ gị ezi ebube dị ngọzi ọbụla dị ka anyị onwe anyị na-abanye n'ọgwụgwụ izu ụka nna nke ebere. Anyị wee were ndụ ụmụ gị niile wee nyefee gị n'aka, ọbụla dị ndị nke eji eji n'ụlọ nga ebe niile dị iche iche, ndị lara azụ na njem nke anyị onwe anyị na-aga. N'ihi na ndị iro bụ ndị Fulani Janje ebutewo agha n'obodo nsọ gị. Ha chọrọ iwere ihe ịnapụ anyị n'ike ala nsọ nke ikwere ndị gboo na nkwa, wee were ya wee gọzie ụmụ gị. Ọkwa ala nsọ bụ Biafra ka anyị na-eche gị n'iru n'isi ụtụtụ a na-asị gị nna nke dị nsọ, biko bịakwa ka igwe echebe ndị gị, n'ihi na oge ahụ nke ikwere anyị na nkwa n'oruwe. Nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị, anyị na-arịọ gị ka iru gị wee chaa n'ihu ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị IPOB n'ụwa niile. Onye nwe m, ka i wee nye anyị ezi nghọta, ezi echiche, amamihe, ịdị n'otu ọganiru, mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne, ịhụnanya nke na-adị n'ezinụlọ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ụzọ ọbụla iwe gị si wee dị ọkụ n'ebe anyị nọ, onye dị nsọ mgbe niile ebighị ebi, ka ọ rịọ ka anyị na-arịọ gị ka iwe gị dị ọkụ wee dajụọ n'ebe anyị nọ, ka amara gị wee bata, ka i wee gbaghara anyị mmehie. N'ihi na ewezụga gị onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ. Anyị bụ anọkpa ahụ, ofu ụbọchị a ga-achọ anyị agaghị ahụ anyị ọzọ, mana marakwa na okwu nsọ gị na-anọgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Ọ bịa mere anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị na-asị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị niile anyị ga-aja aha nsọ gị ma anyị ga-efe gị n'ụzọ pụrụ iche. N'ihi na nke ọma ma anyị ga-ekele aha nsọ gị, nke ọjọọ ma anyị nye gị otuto na ọ bụ gị bụ Chineke. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye masịrị ihe niile. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebere dị ngọzi ka iwe nye anyị ọkụkọ isi amamihe, ezi echiche, akọ na nghọta, nye ụmụ gị ihe niile ndị a nke anyị onwe anyị na-arịọ gị ka ha wee ghọta ebumnobi ọjọọ nke ndị Fulani ebe ndụ ha nọ. N'ihi na ụfọdụ n'ime ha dị iberibe, ha dị nzuzu, ha amaghị ihe. Bịa ka igwe gosi ha ụzọ nke ga-edobe ha n'ime ndụ. Bịakwa ka igwe jụọ anyị onwe anyị n'ụzọ ndị nke ezi omume gị, ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpete masị na Biafra ga-abịa, anyị ga-aja aha nsọ gị ma too gị ma isi ala nye gị site n'ebighị ma ruo n'ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị ise ise ise. Ọkwa asụsụ eluigwe, the language of heaven. That's what we are speaking. Most people do not understand it, but it is true. This is the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. This very morning, I'm going to proceed. Before we open the lines, please, I am going to make a few announcements regarding our sit-at-home that is coming up on the 31st. Lockdown, not even sit-at-home. Lockdown. I have issued the orders to the men on the ground. Not even a cockroach is allowed to cross from one cupboard to the other. Not even cockroach or chicha cannot move from one cupboard to the other. There will be no movement, absolute and total paralysis of activities in the east, in the land of Biafra. Everywhere will be on absolute and total lockdown as we salute those that fell and served us between 1967 to 1970. If you know any veteran around you between now and Monday, please ensure that you visit them. I don't want anybody to lie to say that they served in the very glorious army of Biafra when they didn't do so. We'll remember our veterans, those of them who are still alive. We will celebrate the memory of those that fell in the various battlefields. You must also understand that it was the Third World War. We lost over 5 million people during this very period, of which the world have decided not to talk about for very obvious reasons, because we are Biafrans and because we are the chosen children of God. And also, we fought the whole world. It was the Third World War. Britain was on the side of the Fulani Janjaweed, Gowon-led government. They also managed to convince Russia to join them. It was the only time in the history of the world since the end of the Second World War in 1945 that a free nation like Britain decided to join a communist repressive regime as obtained then in the former Soviet Union in order to oppress a very small country in Africa. Because it was at the height of the Cold War, do not forget. But Britain jettisoned and abandoned everything to do with their so-called ideological purity during that very time in order to coerce Russia to support Goa in order to defeat Biafra, or should I say to prevail over Biafra. They hired Egyptian pilots. OAU was as weak and as stupid as ever, the same way they are this very day, of course, with the exception of Julius Nyerere, and to an extent, should I say, the mediation role played by Emperor Haile Selassie, and of course, a few other Gabon, for instance, that recognized Biafra, and also Cote d'Ivoire under President Hufred Burney. The rest of them decided to gang up with the Janjaweed in order to deny us access to weapons, access to food, access to medical care. Some people even said that starvation was a legitimate instrument of war, which of course is a war crime. But all these things happened. There was no international investigation. Nothing was done about it. And today we are here trying to finish what those brave men started very many years ago. I want to also remind all of you that we fought this very Third World War and we held out for 3 years. The Second World War lasted for about 5 years, from 1939 to mid-1945. But only tiny Biafra was able to sustain the might of 3 superpowers to stay afloat for 3 years. Mind you, we were denied access to food, to medical care. We were denied access to weapons. That was when they created the core states. The Cross River State was created, then River State was also created. And isn't it very, very fortuitous that the same man they brought in to preside over River State that was created to spite Biafra, River State that Amechi is jumping up and down. I wouldn't say Amechi, please, I'm so sorry. That the little Hitler, Nwike is jumping up and down today, was created to spite, to divide our people at the height of the war by Gowon. No other person than Gowon, and that is why his land today has been ravaged and taken over by bandits. I must also make it abundantly clear to all of you, especially those of you who are listening, that we are not going to stop until we complete this very work that our fathers, so to speak, started before we came. It is very, very critical that you understand that come 31st, there will be total lockdown in Biafra land. Absolute cast iron total lockdown. Every living organism, if we find you outside, you're a gunner. As I will always say, ask the zoo police and the zoo army, they will tell you what they're going through. There will be no living organism, no vehicle on the road. Don't come out and be talking rubbish that they, oh, had I known, this thing they are doing, this. We must honor those, because without the class of 1967 to 1970, you will not be alive today. All of us will be alive today. They fought very, very gallantly. They defended our land, and we must honor them. And honor them we shall. Do not make any mistakes about it. You know, they have brought their suicide bombers into our land. The first of them being one idiot called Idi Amin, and fittingly so, of course. The idiot that blew up himself in a Ebonyi state, going to a market to go and kill people. That Dave Umahi quickly swept under the carpet. But we know the truth, and that truth we shall preach on this platform. There will be no movement on the 31st. On the Monday, our activities will start on the 30th. We shall observe, we shall pray. And on the night of the 30th, we're going to have a candlelight vigil everywhere. Candlelight vigil everywhere. Most churches that are going to be opened on Sunday, this coming Sunday, please, you are going to pray for this safe repose of the soul of those that died during the war. We must also remember those of them, including Ikonso, that have died ever since, trying to defend our land from the ravages and excesses of Fulani Janjaweedism. We must also remember men of Eastern Security Network who are today protecting our land against the threat of invasion from Fulani Janjaweed government of the Zoological Republic. Of course, their frontmen, they tried to use Miet Yala. They failed completely and woefully. We defeated them. Now they are trying to use their foot soldiers, of course, the terrorists that they recruited into the army and into the police. What we want Dave Umahi to understand is very, very simple. You are going to lose eventually. Nobody fights their people and wins. It's impossible. Go through history, you will see it. Dave Umahi, you're a loser. That presidency you're gunning for, you can see how it has just evaporated before your eyes. You will be consigned to the dustbin of history, to the dustbin of irrelevance. You are a very foolish and stupid man, and we are going to prove it to you. All that your nonsense with Fulani Islamic Bank is not going to work in our land. Ebonyi is the land of Biafra, and we have fought very, very gallantly to defend it, and there is absolutely nothing yourself or any other individual, for that matter, can do about it. Because here, everything we tell you comes to pass. Everything I tell you on this noble platform comes to pass. And I want to remind that very idiot, there's a very foolish man, the Vice Chancellor, they say, of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. We've been told that this very man have scheduled an exams on the 31st, the day that we announced our sit at home. Or should I say total lockdown of Biafra land. It is a total lockdown, not even sit at home, total lockdown. Anything outside that day is a goner. The Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University wants to test his popularity, and we shall make him very famous. Since he wants to be very famous, he wants to attract perhaps 1 or 2 loans or grants from Fulani Janjaweed, the same way that Umahi did, by being against his people so he can collect loans from Islamic Bank to build 1 or 2 flyovers and deceive the idiots that wish to be deceived, but not us. Well, I want to make it very clear to this very monkey, this very idiot of the VC of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. His name is Charles Okechukwu Esimone, whatever the idiot. I don't care to know where he comes from. Tell this idiot, tell this fool, whoever knows this vagabond, go and tell him. If he wants, I'm not going to say much. Go and put exams on Monday. You see what will happen to you. And those people who will be foolish enough to wish to participate, try it and you will see what will happen to you. Then you will understand how serious we are. You will understand how serious we are. That we are not joking. That we are very, very serious. And there is nothing anybody can do to stop the 31st of May this year from being observed as the main day. We sit at home, or should I say, we lock down everywhere, an act of respect to those that fell, that we may live. They died, that we may live, and we must honor them every blessed year in perpetuity, forever and ever. If our sit at home, if our 30th of May falls on a Shabbat or falls on a Sunday, we choose a date to sit at home, which is normally the next working day, that the world may see the impact of what we are doing. We are not trying to derive the 30th of May. No, it stays that way. Very holy, very sacred, sacrosanct, so to speak. But the real deal will take place on the 31st, when the entirety of Biafra land will be under lock and key. Complete and total lockdown. Complete and absolute lockdown. The name of this idiot is Charles Okechukwu Esimone. If you know him, tell him that this is what Nnamdi Kanu said this morning. That Ogogoro, I don't know, maybe he drinks Hennessy. I don't know, maybe he smokes goof, weed. Tell him that by Monday, that weed would have cleared from his eyes. If he feels it's very tough, he wants to maybe go and bring the new, is it Yahaya, the new chief of army staff, to come and protect him. Then he will better, let me advise him, he better run back to the north. In Sharia North, because when I mean the North, I'm talking about the 12 or 13 Sharia states in the core Arewa North, not Middle Belt. He should go there and become a Vice Chancellor, not in Biafra land. I have not heard from him, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt by asking him that he should refrain from the madness that he's about to embark upon. Every school will be closed down. any principal, any headmaster, any headmistress, any fool that opens his school on Monday, then you will know how upset we are with some of you ifulefus and grammarian. These are fools that only specialize in writing grammar. They know nothing. Nothing comes out of it. Is there electricity in Unizik one? Is there any light there? Is there any running water? Can you use the toilet and be able to flush it in Unizik? You cannot, because you're in a zoo. Mad people everywhere. Set exams that they can take a ball idiot. Everywhere will be on lockdown on the 31st. Everywhere will be on total lockdown on that very day. I don't want any student of the Faculty of Education to go there to write any exams on that very day. Let me see how they go. Let me see the teachers or lecturers or whoever that will come out and say, in fact, get me anybody you see outside, inside Unizik. Anybody you see walking around, any lecturer, please forward his name or her name to me, or their names to me. Because we are here to defend our people. We saved you people from the, should I say, from the Islamic rule of Miet Yala in Ebonyi State. If not for ESN, if not for IPOB, Ebonyi State by now will be under Miet Yala rule. The same way that Plateau State is, the same way they're trying to force Benue State to be. Without Eastern Security Network and IPOB, by now, most of you will be refugees in Amazonia. Therefore, when we ask you to sit at home and do nothing, you sit at home, please. We know what we are doing. We are the ones fighting and protecting your lives all these years. If not for what we are doing, of course, by the grace of the Almighty in heaven, by now our land would have been overrun. If not for what we are doing, the whole of Nigeria, the whole indigenous populations will be under the yoke of Fulani Caliphate. When you wake up in the morning, for goodness sake, say a prayer for IPOB, say a prayer for Eastern Security Network. They are your saviors that you can see with your two eyes. That Nigeria is talking about restructuring is because of IPOB, nobody else, no other bagger is because of IPOB. If you don't know, let me tell you. You must be grateful. And we are here today because of what our fathers did between 67 and 70. And we must honor them. It's the right thing to do. Everywhere in the world they do so. We must honor them. That's precisely what Monday is all about. For those who don't understand. If you like, you come out and anything that happens to you, you will. Don't allow for anybody to say, oh, we told you. After they finish with the army and the police, they will come after you. I am warning you now, do not come out. It's for your own good. We must remember it was this same IPOB that started this very tradition of making sure that our land is secure. That you remember those that fought and died for you. It is IPOB, no other person, no other group of people. It is this same noble family that God Almighty in heaven, out of his infinite mercy, decided must come into existence. If you don't know, let me tell you. They were there all this while doing Ohanese, doing one rubbish or the other. Nobody remembered those that fought and died for them. An act of wickedness and treachery of the highest order. Zoo, they do their own every 15th of January. They remember those that came into your land to kill you, but you cannot remember those that fought and died for you. What sort of people are you? Anyway, no wonder they've been killing you, all of you, until we came. Or should I say, until Chico Kikabiyama determined that we should come. Do you know why they put Children's Day on the 27th of May? Do you know why they put Children's Day on the 27th of May? It was on the 27th of May that the Consultative Assembly of the old Eastern region sat together in Enugu and decided and gave Ojukwu the mandate to declare Biafra, which he did on the 30th of May. Some of you don't know this. To take away the importance of that very day, the zoo put Children's Day on the 27th of May. Some of you don't even know. You're saying, oh, 27th of May, Children's Day. You don't know why they did it. This morning, I am telling you the reason why they did it. And before I go any further, I hope it's very clear now. I said lockdown, not even sit at home. Lockdown. Lockdown. If your neighbor wants to go out that day, will be Kuboye. Complete and total lockdown. After all, during the height of the COVID, they stole all your relief they were supposed to give to you. Did you come outside? During the lockdown of COVID, the Chinese virus, did you come out? Did you come out? I'm asking you. You never came out. Now you are going to sit at home on the 31st of May to honor those that you should have been honoring every day of your lives. Every blessed day of your lives, you ought to be honoring these people. Now, there is something that I want to see. Let me see if I can get hold of it. I want to see if I can get hold of it, if they will allow me. I want to play, there was something that I said I was going to play this morning. For some inexplicable reason, I can no longer find it. I wanted to play for some people the lamentation of some individuals, that you may be able to understand what is happening, that you may be able to understand what is going on. Because there was this video, I can't find it anymore. I don't know where the video is anymore. There was this video of lamentation by somebody from Zamfara, saying that the bandits had taken over their land. As I warned them, if you move this very army of yours south, if you move it south, the bandits will take over your territory. I warned them. They did not listen. I'm trying to, I don't know where I put it. For some reason, I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. I am looking for it. I'm trying to find it so I can play it for some of you. I'm looking for it, please. Do bear with me for a second. Oh, dear me. Where is this thing? Where is it? Okay, I don't know. Where is it? Can somebody please forward it to me if you know it? Can somebody please forward it to me? Forward it to me. If you have it, you forward it to me, please. If you have it, please try and forward it to me, because we are live and direct. I can no longer seem to find it. What we are doing, please, is to educate the people. I want them. If you send your troops to our land, there are people in Owerri right now from Zamfara State. I saw that very video and I wept. They are from Zamfara. They are crying. And they are lamenting that their villages are being taken over by, this is a hardened, natural-born Fulani terrorists. From Mali, from Senegambia, from the Niger Republic, they are in Zamfara, killing them. And people from Zamfara, they know what they're doing Rambo. I warned you. If I cannot play it now, I will play it in the next 2 days when I will be back live again on air. Because on the morning of the 31st, I am going to preach this very gospel. We are going to pray. We are going to commence the reading of our Psalms. That is a very special prayer that I pray all the time. And on Monday, I'm going to give you that very secret. On Monday, we are going to start it. We are going to pray the whole of the book of Psalms from 1 to 150. From 1 to 150, starting from Monday. And I will have a morning broadcast on the morning of the 31st, the day that we are doing our lockdown, our total lockdown. Please, I need this thing to be sent to me. Send it to me immediately. Oh, I've gotten it. Thank you very much. I have gotten it now. I'm going to play it for you so that you may know that we prophesy. I don't predict. It's a prophecy. Everything I tell you comes to pass. That's when I keep telling you that heaven will give me a message and I'll pass to those who are living. If you listen to me, if you listen to me, you will have life. I'm telling you the truth. I want to play something for you this morning that I told you many months back is going to happen. I told you it's going to happen. They will, because it's called hubris. Fulani pride and stupidity, their primitive mindset will not allow them to allow Biafra to go easily. And Chuko Kikadam will destroy them. Go, anything I tell you, write it down on a piece of paper. It must come to pass. Because I know who I'm worshiping. I don't worship idol. Anything made by hand, anything born of a woman, I cannot bow down before. Do you know what that means? It is in the book of Exodus chapter 20. Are you following me? I am the Lord your God. You will have no other God before me. That is the number one commandment of God Almighty in heaven. The person, I wouldn't say person, entity that we give our children, that we name our children after. When you name your child the Chinomso, you are venerating God in heaven. When you name your child the Chinedu, you are worshiping God in heaven. That same God that you named your child after is the God that I worship, not the God of white man. I don't worship idol. Anything made by hand I cannot bow before. And that is why heaven gives me revelation. And I want to prove it to you that everything I say is gospel from heaven. When I tell that the zoo will fall, the zoo will fall. And I've told you something that at the end of this process, Nigeria will not exist. The name Nigeria won't exist. After that, Hausa people will reclaim their land, including Gobe. Fulani will be nowhere to be found. Write it down on a piece of paper. Let me prove it to you this morning that heaven sent me. Listen.
To tell the world the conditions of Zamfara people today, more especially in Zurmi, Borno Magaji, and Kauranamu, the local government, that today mandatory activities to our understand have even turned is worse than Boko Haram to our own understanding. Because we have seen their operation with more than 250 bikes, each with AK-47. They attack different villages. They attack a village called Gabaki and kill 5 people. Torawa, they kill 5 people. The other village called Gigia, they kill 1. In a village called Oroe, in Zumi local government, they kill 4 people. In a village called Ryoji, where I came from, they kill 1 and injure 7 people, including my father's younger brother. Secondly, we have a squad of people in General Hospital, Kauranamuda, some in General Hospital, Borno Magaji, and some has been taken to Gusau. So we want to tell the world today that they should witness what is going on in Zamfara State. And we are calling the Nigerians, we are calling our National Assembly and all the executive of Zamfara State airline to do something, to do whatever necessary and stop mandatory activities, because it is getting worse. Today we are in condition whereby our plant is farming. Today we cannot go to the farm in Zamfara State. Look at our people. Everywhere in the hospital. We are all youth graduates, unemployment, we are jobless. And today even the farm we are going to get what we are in, we cannot go to the farm. Now we don't even know what is our left and right.
Now, when I tell you something, will you believe me next time? I said to them, Fulani, you are foolish. I'm talking about even the indigenous populations in Zamfara State, not just the Fulani from Zamfara. You will come down to the east. Your chief of army staff, your Garba Shehu, and the police will send you to Imo State. They will send you to Iguacha. We will pay you money to come to Iguacha. But your backyard will be open. They will come in and they will take it. I've been telling you this, that I told you that there is a method to our madness. That is something an average multi-purpose Efulefu cannot understand. That is something an intellectual cannot understand. That is something a sophisticated moron can never understand. That we are more intelligent than them, 100 times over. That is why anything I say behind this microphone, Almighty is my witness, must come to pass. How many months ago did I tell you that they will come because they are very foolish? They will come to the east. Let me tell you my plan once again this morning. And what heaven said is how we are going to fight this very war. You know that the army of Pharaoh was destroyed in the Red Sea. You're aware of that. They drowned in the Red Sea. Biafra land is going to become the Red Sea of the Fulani army. There they will drown and there they will die. Let me make it very, very clear to all of you. You see this army of Nigeria. History will record that they died in Biafra. Complete destruction. Because very many years ago, when we started our atonement, to be doing atonement, to be asking Elohim, please forgive us, we are very sinful, we are horrible, we turned our back against you, we started following white gods, all this foreign idol, all this nonsense, that we have sinned against thee. Please have mercy upon us. God said to us, I have listened to your prayers, but my anger with you people and your fathers for following foreign gods is still there. But I'm going to show you that I'm God. This very process we're in now started. Elohim said that IPOB will be indestructible. Biafra is going to come, but people are going to die. They will kill you. I will give your army the weapons to fight back. You will kill them. In the end, Biafra will come. Is that what is happening to them? When I started telling you they will kill us, we will kill them in the end, Biafra will come. Since the year 2013, I've been telling you this. Without fail. You must understand what we are in for. You see this. Do you know that the Fulani army have died before in Biafra land? Some of you don't know. That is why we are not Muslims. So you don't know that before. That time, only God fought for us. There was no army. We had no standing army. On the plains of Benue. The same thing Autumn is fighting today. The same way they have descended on Benue was how they came. As they were moving their way down to Watupo, God sent an army of angels from heaven to land that he blessed and said beyond this very point that Islam cannot enter. That is why you have Islam in Yoruba land. That is why you have Islam even in some parts of Midwest, Edo states today, some parts of them that have Islam. That is why in Benin Republic, in Cotonou, you have Islam all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. That is why in Togo, you have Islam all the way to Lomé. That is why in Ghana, you have Islam all the way even to Accra. That is why across the entirety of West Africa, there is Islam all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. But in the land of Biafra, there is no Islam. Ask yourself why. Because the God Almighty in heaven has been protecting your land from time immemorial. Without a standing army, the army of the Janjaweed was defeated. And I prayed to God and I said, let that miracle happen once again in our time. And Elohim said to me, no, I won't do it that way. Instead, you're the ones who are going to kill them. I will bring them to your land and you will kill them. That will be their own Red Sea. As Pharaoh's army drowned in the Red Sea, so shall the land of Biafra consume this very army of darkness from the Sahel. But that one thing we shouldn't do is to entertain any fear. We should not be afraid. We should not be. The only problem we have is fear itself. That we shouldn't be afraid. Once you're not afraid, that we have won. And that's this battle that we're in right now. You were there when they declared their war. And I said to you that that is my plan. I want to draw the Nigerian army and police into Biafra land, and there we'll kill them. Do you understand me? And there will be nowhere. Those of them that will survive, if at all any will survive, when they go back to Zamfara, they will have nowhere to go to in Zamfara. Because in their land, in their own land, armed killers are there waiting for them. Is that what is happening? Let me play it for you 1 second so you understand. Nobody I don't come out in the morning to say what I don't know about. It's heaven that is directing me. That is why I don't worship idol. We had a temple in Arochukwu before the white man came and destroyed it. Of course, we are sinful the same way the temple of God fell in Jerusalem. And the Muslim took it over and built Alaska Mosque in it and built the dome on the rock. On the same temple mount that Solomon built the house of God upon. These are the things that you must understand. We are sent by heaven not the sons of men, to preach this very gospel that we may return to who we were before, the worship of Almighty God in heaven, and no idol. We are religious people by nature. That is who we are. That is why we answer Omo and Igwe, the children of the kingdom of heaven. No other society, not even in Israel, do you have such a name. We have in Hetiowa, where the light of God shines upon the children of men. In Arochukwu. These are our names. Or you have forgotten who we are. We answer Ihe, which means light, the children of light. Don't you have Ihembosi in Anambra State? Don't you have Ihe in Ungwaland? Don't you have Ihe? Light. You know Lokoro, you know why? My grandmother's place, Olokoro, she comes from Itu. The woman that gave birth to my father. Don't you have Ihe? We call it Ihe. It's not Ihe, it's Ihe. Light. Don't you have it? Where we come from? Tell me any other place in this world where their name is light or light of God, the Hechowa, as you have in Arochukwu. Tell me where on this earth. Tell me where you have one Igwe, the children of the kingdom of heaven in Enugu State as we have today. Show me where else in the world. Why would I worship God? Who are you to tell me who God is? Do you praise God with your name? My name is Nnamdi. My Redeemer liveth. Now you understand why we worship God the way we do. Why God is central to everything that we do. We are sinful. Who isn't? After all, we are mortal flesh. But we cannot forego nor abandon our identity. Not the identity the white man gave you, you morons, you fools. That was why God abandoned us until we came. And he said, now that you have come, you will see what I'm going to do. How do you think we chased away Mjetiala from our land? Do you think it's by our might, our own power? Is that what you think? Elohim is in heaven. I'll play it for you once again. There is a method to our madness. You come into our land, you are going to die in our land. And by the time you get back to where you come from, you idiots from the Sahel, you have no home to go to. There are people in Zafra right now in Enugu Rambo, jumping from one street to the other one, protecting those of them. Those of them mass land is safe. Your own land in Zamfara is gone. You idiots, go back to where you come from and defend your land. From ESN where you come from, or the version of ESN, and defend your land. From killers and murderers. Fulani are there deceiving you with pension of 40,000 naira, sending you to the east to go and fight. Whereas your own land is gone. I will play it for you fools once again so you understand.
We want to tell the world.
We want to tell the world.
Conditions of some Palestinian people today. More especially in Zurmi, Bunamagaji, and Kawanamo, the local government. That today mandatory activities to our understand have even turned his worse than Boko Haram to our own understanding. Because we have seen their operation with more than 250 bikes, each with AK-47. They attack different villages. They attack a village called Gabaki and kill 5 people. Torawa, they kill 5 people. The other village called Higia, they kill one. In a village... The young man is naming all the villages where people are being slaughtered like chicken. But people from Zamfara are wearing police and army uniform in Imo State. Now, I want to understand what is wrong with the brain of black people. I am from Ibegu, and you send me to Sokoto to go and be fighting insurgency in Sokoto. Whereas in my village, there is Mietiara killing people. Why would I remain in Sokoto? Why would I remain in Sokoto? And he's a graduate, huh? You can see the quality of his English. Very soon now he'll be a permanent secretary, or maybe secretary to the federal government of Nigeria. These are the mess that we are in. And I thank God Almighty that after years of shouting and screaming, our Yoruba brethren now understand what we have been saying all along. It is not born out of hatred for anybody. It is so that you may know the truth, and that truth will set you free. Listen, let me finish playing it.
Zamfara. They are doing Nigerian army. Go to the east. Anything you see there, kill it. It's bandit, men, women, or children. And please also send me the video now, please, of that one. You will see them, these people, some of them from Zamfara, hailing their troops coming to kill innocent children in Biafra land. Nigerian army. Everybody's pretending they cannot see. Everybody's blind. They cannot see. I don't want to go into our names. Oluchuku Tamono. I mean, we name our children Obasi after God himself in heaven. And a white man came with rubbish, and you people are following. You people are stupid. People who are uncircumcised. And I can't understand you people. And God said, let me leave. These people are foolish. Let me leave them. And for 50 years, he left us. Until he said, now that you're ready to come back to me, by the time Biafra comes, you worship me forever and ever. I do worship us everywhere. Now listen very carefully, please.
In Zulmi local government, they kill 4 people. In a village called Rioji, where I came from, they kill 1 and injure 7 people, including my father's younger brother. Secondly, we have a squad of people in General Hospital, Kauranamuda, some in General Hospital, Bunamagaji, and some has been taken to Gusau. So we want to tell the world today that they show.
No, they want to tell the world. Something I've been telling the world ever since. Now they want to tell the world, Now they want to tell the world. Something I've been telling the world since nobody wants to hear. Now this one wants to tell the whole world what is going on. Now, do you follow us? There is no pronouncement. If God is not with us, why is it that when I say something, it happens exactly the same way? Why? It's a simple question for an ordinary intellectual to answer. If Elohim is not with us, why is it anything I say comes to pass? Exactly the same way. It's as if it is clockwork. That's something that they cannot understand. They cannot comprehend it. I told you they will come to our land, and when they come to our land, their own land will be taken over by their own bandits. Is it not happening now? Let's finish it, and then I'll play the other one for you.
What is going on in Zamfara State, and we are calling the Nigerians, we are calling our National Assembly and all the executive of Zamfara State airline to do something, to do whatever necessary, and stop mandatory activities, because it is getting worse. Today we are in condition whereby our pride is priming. Today we cannot go to the farm in Zamfara State. Look at our people everywhere in the hospital. We are all youth graduates, unemployment, we are jobless. And today, even the farm we are going to get what we are in, we cannot go to the farm. Now we don't even know what is our left and right.
They don't know your left and right. Are you listening to it? We don't know what. Keep following the Sultan. You fools from the north. Keep following all these idiots, telling you it's not Sharia and all that rubbish. Look at where you are now. Ordinary people are suffering. Ordinary people are suffering. The young man is in pain. You can see the pain on his face. And I want that video everywhere, please. I want it everywhere. And that is why I keep saying that it's as if Satan put together Nigeria, I'm telling you the truth. And also made the people not to be able to reason properly. Is it not very clear to everybody now? That everything I say comes to pass, it is the truth. We don't do what we do out of hatred. We do it out of compassion and out of love for people. Now, I told you before that Nigerian army cannot fight. They only specialize in killing. See, Nigerian army is an instrument of terrorism. They don't fight like soldiers. They are cowards. They are cowards. And we say, one day, ESN will start attacking. You know it's not going to happen. It can never happen unless you're an informant or a saboteur. Let me play a clip for you once again before we open our lines. And I hope that the ICC, they are paying attention. Everybody, Katrina Lang has run away. I don't know where she ran to. She says she's on holiday. That blood-sucking demon, she has run away. I don't know where she ran to. I want her to listen to, because I know everybody listens to this program, of course. The whole world, they listen to us, of course. I want her, Katrina Lang, to listen to this very program. This very clip I'm about to play. Nigerian army, yes. They cannot fight. They have never won any battle in their never without foreign help. Never in their history. Only to kill civilians. The only army in the world whose primary function is to reduce the population of their own people. That if, believe you me, if you know what I know about the Nigerian army, anybody wearing that uniform, if you see them, you kill them. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you, they are your problem. But one day you will realize it. I'm saying it now, you think maybe he's upset with the Nigerian army. No. Once they put on that uniform, there is a Fulani demon that goes inside them. They lose touch with humanity. They are no longer human. I want to play this clip again for you. The first clip is the one that justified our prophecy. This is the second one. To also prove to all of you that Nigerian army cannot fight. They are civilian murderers. That's what they do. They only kill civilians. Nothing else in their useless existence. Now, listen, please. In Hausa language. Anybody you see in the east is a bandit. Not their own bandits in the north, ravaging Zamfara. Not their own bandits in the north, ravaging Zamfara. No. It's in the east. Civilian murderers. Because in the north, the bandits in the north, they have AK-47. But in the east, people are not armed. Do you see how they operate? In the east, they're not armed. He's saying, go, anything you see is a bandit in the east. This is the shoot at sight order that we are denying. It is here, I'm playing it for you. From the barracks where they left to go and kill civilians. And this is our famous Nigerian army, our boys, our troops. Anybody, even if you're my friend, if you refer to Nigerian army as our boys, I will have a major war with you. I don't care who you are. These are the idiots that you call your boys, and our boys, our men in uniform. These are the animals in uniform. Let me play it for you, please, once again.
Anybody you see there about it, anybody you see there about it, don't forget to anybody there about it, man or woman or auntie, uncle.
Anybody you see, man, woman, auntie, uncle, you see in the east, kill them. They are bandits. These are Janjaweed. Are you following? This is Nigerian army. One day, this idiot is saying this rubbish will become a major general. The only war he's ever fought is to go to Nkwonewi and kill people in the market. And you're a general in Nigeria. This is why Nigeria must be destroyed. The name Nigeria, I'm telling you, that is extinguished from history books. The place is brimming with evil upon evil. These are the things you must understand. These are the things that you ought to know. That is your one Nigeria for you. Look at Wike. Anywhere they see any young Igbo boy, they arrest. Anywhere they see me, watch, they arrest. There's something in Igbo State. The day the madness will reach them now, all of you witness. That is the thing about me. Of course, now I know why God put black people at the bottom of the pile. Why black people are the lowest of the low in the whole world. After black people, you now get chimpanzees, you now get apes, and you get monkeys. Now I know. Because you people are evil. You are wicked. Now that Wike is going about abducting people in broad daylight, nobody will talk. Now that Hope Uzodinma is busy abducting, nobody will talk. Now that idiot called Umahi is yapping and running his mouth, which is a battle, nobody will talk. Any day we hit them now, all of you start writing your epistles. Ndara. It is going to happen. It is going to happen. Have they not appointed a new chief of army staff? I'm asking all of you, multi-purpose Fulefus. Have they not appointed another one? Fulani don't give a damn about you. what you think. They are so arrogant. Nigeria is theirs. You cannot do anything. They can buy Facebook. They can buy Google. They can buy Twitter. They can buy anybody they like. They have the money. Britain is behind them. They can do whatever they like. Anything they like, they can do. Anything they like, they can do, and they feel they can get away with it. And all of you are there asking, one Nigeria, we are Nigerians, we Nigerians. You people are hopeless. It was the Human Rights Writers Association of the Zoo, Huriwa they call themselves, that said, what did they actually say? That Buhari is not a believer of one Nigeria for doing this, doing what? For appointing another Fulani man into a sensitive security position. All of you, all you can do from the south is to beg. You people are not ashamed of yourselves. You're in your father's land, you're in the land of your ancestors, and you're begging somebody from the Sahel, somebody from the semi-arid Sahel, a nomad, to make your life better. You're not foolish. Are you not foolish? A man with, look at how they have corruption hanging on. Even Malami, your so-called AGF, Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, who doesn't even understand the rule of law. The idiot is mired in corruption. Look at Magu, another Janjaweed of EFCC. He stole the money that he recovered from people they claim we are corrupt. This is the type of country that you're rooting for. I mean, Nigeria, this will get better. In my next life, I don't want to see any of you. I'm telling you the truth. In this Yoji, you disgust me. You have brain but cannot reason. Oh dear. They have condemned whoever they call Buhari in Asarok for appointing another northerner. That's what they call it. They call it northerner instead of Fulani Janjaweed. Emmanuel Ombiko issued a statement saying that their refusal to imagine if, let me say, imagine that this administration is an Igbo administration with an Igbo man as chief of army staff, Igbo man as naval staff, Igbo man as air force, Igbo man as, hey! By now, there will be no Igbo person left in the north. They will kill everybody. You will see Britain that can come and say that you have federal character as part of your constitution. Why don't you do something about it? But now that the Fulani is doing it, everybody has gone mute. All of you cannot talk. It's only IPOB who can speak. Where is Katuna lying? No more federal character. I told you that the Fulanis do not know how to obey simple laws. They don't know the meaning of law. They don't know. There is something called federal character. Federal character in the Constitution. The country is it 61 years old, if I'm not mistaken? The zoo called Nigeria is 61 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Their constitution is less than 20 years old, or thereabout. Or should I say 22 years old? So in other words, the governing document of a place called Nigeria is younger than the country itself. I paid attention to what Omagege was saying. I think he's either the deputy, I don't know what, is he in the Senate? I think he's the deputy Senate leader, one of the idiots that went and tied the sheet on his head or bandage before they made him deputy Senate president or thereabout. I don't know what the title he holds. His name is Omagege. You know what the idiot said a few days ago? We are not going to rewrite the 1999 Constitution because everywhere else in the world, people just don't wake up and rewrite their own Constitution. They keep amending it until it becomes a perfect document. Of course, I agree with him. He made a very valid point. Then what Omagege failed to tell the gullible, miseducated zoo animals called Nigerians is this. Why did you not start this, your series of amendments with the 1963 Republican Constitution? Why must you stop at, why must you use 1999 Constitution? Why not 1979? Why not 1963? Why not even 1960 Constitution? If you claim, excuse me, that rewriting a constitution is bad, which of course I believe as well, incidentally, I do believe that. I believe that No constitution is perfect. People amend it over time. I understand that. That is how it obtains all over the world. But I'm asking you, why therefore did you not go back to the 1963 Republican Constitution and start your amendments from there? I don't know if I'm making any sense to people. Omagege, I think he's the Deputy Senate leader or whatever his name is of the zoo, Deputy Senate President. I'm asking him a simple question. You posited, and rightfully so, that people just don't abandon their constitution, they amend it. I agree with you. If that is the case, why did Abdul Salami Abubakar abandon 1979 constitution? Why did he not amend it? In fact, let's even go further. Why is it that those that wrote the 1979 constitution did not refer back and amend the 1963 constitution? Because it was the military that truncated the whole process. It was Gowon that said to create states. Before we were in our regions, everybody doing fantastically well. Believe you me, even the North was growing economically. The largest textile mill in West Africa was in Kaduna. They were doing so well. Do you know there's a truck company called Iveco, IVECO? Do you know Fiat? Trucks were being assembled in the North. How many of you know about Savannah Sugar Company in somewhere in Numan, in Jukuland today? Is it Yobe or Gongola State? I used to know it as Gongola State. How many of you know this? That before Dangote came, that Nigeria used to manufacture sugar locally. Now Dangote imports sugar. And that time, my uncle used to work for Savannah Sugar Company in Numan. I'll never forget. I used to ask him, is there any Jordanian river there? Why is the name Numan? Because Numan is in the Bible. They went into Jordan and his leprosy was cured. I used to ask my uncle that question. Do you know that there was a time that people were working in sugarcane plantation? Huge, massive sugarcane plantation in present day. Is it Yobe? I don't know what they call it. Is it Gongola State? Let me use Gongola, please. Do you know that? And they work in the farm. They got, mind his employment. Then there was no banditry because everybody had a job to do. They will cut down the sugar cane. They will take it to the Savannah Sugar Company. They squeeze it, they press it until sugar crystals will begin to emerge. And they send it down to the east. That is the sugar we used to use. Because Oyibo on then used to be, there was Tate and Lyle from Britain and St. Louis in a blue box. But Savannah Sugar Company is on a white box with green and red writing livery on top of it. I'm old enough to remember. Savannah Sugar Company. Young people that should have been working in that plantation now, making sugar for everybody, they are now bandits with AK-47. And somebody telling me, Dangote is the richest man in Africa. I said, people are this year. As I said, in my next life, I won't meet you people. Black, and God forbid, I won't meet you people. The way you people reason, I will never jam you again in life. If there's any afterlife, one thing I will beg God is, don't mix me with these people again. I don't want to see them. Thank you very much. It's called Adamawa State now. Thank you for that. Adamawa State is called now. Who brought in states? State creation in Nigeria came about because one man, Gowon, wanted to spite Ojukwu. Let us divide them. State creation is an instrument of divide and rule. Some of you can never get it. How come when Nigeria was in regions, they were doing very well? As soon as they started to create the useless, non-viable states, everybody became poor. Why can't you do something with churches? How come in the olden days when there were only Roman Catholic Church, Anglican, Methodist, Presbyterian, Seventh-day Adventist Church, Assemblies of God, Cherubim and Seraphim, as you add, and which other old church? Apostolic Church, that is very old, Apostolic Church, everything was working very well. At least, even though people were worshiping God in ignorance, but at least they were worshiping God in truth and in every honesty. Until the mercantile set came in, until merchants came with the Pentecostalism. Since that day, church, hallelujah, Holy Ghost fire. Look at your lives. It's called common sense. It's called reflection. reflection, reflect on the life before and the life now. There is church in every corner. In some buildings, you have 19. In fact, in some hotels, in their lobby, after one church must have finished between 7 and 9 in the morning. Another one will come in from 9 to 11. Another one will come from 11 to 1. Are you people being blessed? The answer is no. When Nigeria was in regions, ask all of these people everywhere. There was one idiot called Isasage, whatever. They say it's a senior advocate. You know, when they say someone is a senior advocate in the zoo, I laugh. Isasage, that idiot of APC, saying, can they please go back to the 1963 Constitution and then remove the regions and allow the states to be there? What they want to say is that if you go back to the regions, some people will become a minority. And then I want to ask all of you who travel to America to buy your houses for medical care and to get citizenship. Do you have any relative in the House of, in the Senate of America or House of Reps? I want to debunk all this nonsense. If had this present APC regime, had they been doing very fine, do you think anybody will complain? You're in America. Is Joe Biden your relative? Is Joe Biden your uncle? But you prefer to be a US citizen, isn't it? Because of the policies that they run. It's simple common sense. What I'm asking all of them jumping up and down, creating states, give us another state. When compare now that you have, is it 49 states or is it 39? I don't know how many, or 32, I have no idea. Compare now to when you had only 3 or 4 regions in the whole of Nigeria. Economically speaking, which era would you love to live in? Then that will answer your question. This UG black people. I think the problem with we black is that we don't reason very well. I've been saying it from any day I come on air, I say it because black people do not reason very well. That is why we are suffering. That is why everybody's in pain. And that is why we must do something to try and rectify it. And this very morning, that is precisely what we are doing here, live and direct to the whole of mankind. This is Radio Biafra. We are live. The time now is 11 minutes past 8 a.m. in the glorious and blessed land of Biafra. It may not look like that now, but we know what we have. And in the fullness of time, the whole world will come to the inescapable realization that Biafra is indeed the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth. They have appointed another Janjaweed. And they said, Omahi is giving ultimatum. I'm asking people, if you're part of unknown gunmen, if you're this, come and bring that. Because our family in Ebonyi State is in very serious trouble, IPOB family there. Because they have fallen for Mammon. I think that's what they call it. Is it Mammon? They call it the avarice, the demon of ill-gotten wealth. Ebonyi State IPOB family. Ebonyi State IPOB family. Ebonyi State IPOB. How many times have I called you now? Be very, very careful. Dave Omahi is walking about with money, giving some of you bags of money to bring IPOB family members and our volunteers to go and join Ebubago. If you join Ebubago, you're going to die eventually. I would just want you to understand that very, very clearly. You will die, you will perish. You are under oath. You will die eventually. If you join Ebubago, you're going to die. That is for sure. Therefore, he brought out money and be giving to all of, distributing money carelessly everywhere. Money he got from Islamic Bank. That was why they allowed idiots to go to their useless ass of rock, flanked by Femi Adesina, talking rubbish. Therefore, Mahi will destroy Ebonyi State. We have recovered Ebonyi State from Mieti Allah. It seems you idiots want to go back to the era of Mieti Allah ruling you people. Don't allow me to place a curse upon you. IPOB family in Ebonyi State must sit up this morning. Identify anybody who talks today for Mahi must be identified immediately and dealt with. They brought their money, they're distributing. Some of you are even contemplating going to join Ebubago as if you're mad. After eating that money, then what happens to you? You idiots, what will happen to you? And I must make it very, very clear, because of what is now happening in Ebonyi State, having succeeded in chasing away Mieti Allah, they have given a lot of money today for Mahi to distribute to some of you idiots. so that Fulani can come back and recolonize Ebonyi State. Because of that, we are now dividing Ebonyi into 3 command structures in Ebonyi State. Eastern Security Network in Ebonyi State it will no longer be headed by one person. We are going to have 3 commanders, their names nobody will know, to avoid contamination. And this women, Ebonyi will have 3 commanders. Imo State will have 3 commanders, not one overall commander. I'm announcing it on air so that they will hear. People on the ground will hear me. Ebonyi State will have 3 commanders on the ground. Imo State, 3 commanders on the ground. Igbocha, 3 commanders on the ground. They are the only states that we have 3 commanders. All other states still have only 1 commander. All these other states I've mentioned, Ebonyi, Imo, and Igbocha, which is River State, 3 commanders each. And they're independent of one another, but under one central command. So you understand it very clearly. We cannot, we are too educated to allow these fools to penetrate us. It's not going to happen. And I must warn every coordinator in all of these states that I've just mentioned. Our coordinator of that very state, I am watching all of you. If anything goes wrong with our family in that state, I will hold you personally responsible. You must understand that this is IPOB. You must understand it this very morning. Look at it. So Devil Mahi is smarter than we are. Is that what you're telling me? That X419er, he had no living. He made a living by stealing from people. He's a scammer. He will sit down in front of his laptop and be doing wayo with white people. That is the idiot that is in Ebonyi State, trying to convince you not to pursue your freedom. The coordinator of Ebonyi State, Imo State, and Igbocha should be very, very careful. IPOB was ordained by heaven itself, not man. Do not mix with politicians. I say do not. It's an order, a direct order from me, live on air. Live on air. Do not. I repeat, do not. We are live and we are direct, and the whole world is bearing us witness. The whole world is bearing us witness. I'm going to now open the line, but before that, you know that Governor Autumn has asked the Benue people to defend themselves, and the killings of people there is still going on unabated. Nothing is stopping them, and they are coming down to the south, as I've warned you before. They appear there and write it on a piece of paper. They are coming down south. We have to wait for the real army. The real army is coming. This one they're using now in Imo State, Hope is the smoke stream. I understand that one idiot, I don't want to mention the buffoon's name, is talking about people should come out that they have secured. He said, now we'll come out in Imo State now. Come out, you know where? On Monday. I take a walk. Come out, let us see. You have yourself to blame. Everywhere is on a lockdown. Every road closed. I want every road to be closed. Go into all the young people in every village. Go to the bush, cut down trees, big ones, block every road. Then we trap any vehicle stupid enough will be trapped inside the truck upon their hawk. Then both the driver and the passengers. God will punish all of you. No movement, I said. No aircraft. If you know airpiece, if you know any aircraft operator, tell them no flight is coming into Owerri, no flight into Enugu, no flight into Asaba. That's what I said. No flight should come in. None whatsoever should come in. For their information, no flight should come in. I understand people that work in the oil sector and they want to fly into Igbocha. That is their prerogative. We don't want to stop them. They're doing vital economic work, believe it or not. But in the core areas I've just mentioned, no flight should come in. I said no flight should come in. And no movement on the road. I want all the young people everywhere across the whole of Biafra land, from Bakassi all the way to Godomigodo. Block every road. I want every major road blocked. Blocked. No movement anywhere. There'll be one idiot that they will say, nothing is happening. Let's go out. Then your family will bury you. Let me now open the lines, please. Some of you may have the numbers already. If you have it, please do call, and I will take your call. I don't want anybody to greet me this morning, please. Do not greet me. Once you come on air, you give us your name and where you're calling from, and that will be enough. Imagine Omahi gives bandits orders, ultimatum to surrender. Look at this idiot. The more I see this man's face, the more I want to read. I want to use my fingers and gouge out his eyes. He irritates me. The worst of the very worst, I'm telling you the truth. Therefore, the worst of the very worst, I'm telling you. I have a caller on the line. This caller, if you can hear me, please, your name and where you're calling from, if you may.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling from Cyprus.
From Cyprus. And what is your first name, please?
My first name.
You're doing which means you don't know who you are. Call another station, please. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Good morning to you. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
Thank you so much. My name is Okweikechu. I'm calling you from Spain, precisely Malaga.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. The world is listening to you. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Onyendu. And we're all listening to you. All your broadcast today is very great, and we listen to you very, very well. And we are taking note of your order, and everything you say must surely come to pass, and we must obey your order. As you say that no movement from 30th to 31st of this month, we are going to remember our heroes, somebody like Ikonso, and those who died before him, and those who will die again, because they are between us every day, and we must remember them. That one is for sure. Forever and ever, the order has been given. And when you see, I want you also to draw your attention in Enugu State, because I'm from Suka. So I want to draw your attention. There are a lot of things going on there. I know I'm a first caller. I will not talk much about that, but I want you to draw your attention there. And the point you made, as you divide Igbocha and Imo State and Ebonyi State, as you give three commands there, it's very, very good. It's a very, very good development. And I want you to look upon Enugu State to do exactly that in Enugu State. I'm not commanding you, but I'm just trying to advise you, because a lot of things is going on now in Enugu State. The leadership of Enugu and the leadership of Nsukka, they are having misunderstanding between themselves. And our African rep has come to Nsukka to try to settle the problem, but the problem still stands. The problem is still going on. So I'm drawing your attention in Enugu State to come and look upon what is happening there. I will not talk much about that. I will not, because I'm live on air. I want you to come and look upon that and do the needful there before things get out of hand. Because I see that the demons, exactly the demon that is entering our people in Ebonyi, the same demon is also moving around in Enugu State now, as I'm telling you. And the demon is touching some of us there. And I want you to do the needful before the demon go rampant. Very, very important.
I'll do so.
So that is my point this very morning. And thank you so much, Oyendu. We really appreciate you. And we must continue. Biafra is our destination. No immortal will stop us. No immortal, not even Fulani danger, will not even the world will stop us, because we are in a maybe here more. We are in Atuna. And at the end, we glorify the Almighty God forever and ever. Thank you so much.
You said thank you and well spoken. Anywhere there is a problem, we identify and we cut it out. But we are IPOB, so we must be disciplined. We are in command and control, but any coordinator that is proven to have held meetings with any governor or you are a gunner. We'll set an example with you. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please?
My name is Ifeanyi from Germany.
Ifeanyi from Germany, please, we are listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, Biafra, and we thank you. So, my contribution from Edo State. Thank for Edo State for all the local governments. Full harassment, they destroy our...
You are from Edo State. What is your name again? Ifeanyi Chukwu State. I hope that the Janjaweed are Ifeanyi Chukwu from Edo State. And with me into Biafra. Oh my God. Please go ahead.
For our land for Edo State there, they destroy our farm.
Which part of Edo is that? And your name is Ifani?
Yeah, Ifani.
We're listening. Go ahead.
So they destroy our farmland for them. They rape our mothers. They kill our people for them. So people know for that from Gonaba to Goneki to Apple side. So how they destroy thing with the nobody again, people are put this up for that place. So that is why I say if go for ESN for that place, then come up for that.
ESN will go there because I don't need the permission of anybody. Your name is Ifani. Before they say that Igbo people have come again to take our land. You know how our people behave sometimes. People will be moving to that very place. And I want you to send me a message after this. Give me the precise location of these vagabonds, these vandals from the Sahel. And ESN will go there and drive them away. And by this time next week, you'll hear the story. Okay? Send it now. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Very, very sensible callers this morning. I hope it can continue. I hope it can continue, please. I have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? They can't hear me. I have a caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning, you see all your junior brothers, Solomon.
Solomon.
Because you see, forgive. Because you see.
That's no problem. That's no problem. It's okay, Solomon. That's no problem. That's no problem. That's no problem.
Thank you.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Solomon calling live on air. That is what true repentance should be like. When you repent, you come live on air and repent live on air. That's what I like. I've not spoken to him now for heaven knows nearly a year. He was a very good boy before. I took him as my younger brother, but it's better that he has repented, and I'm very glad. The caller on the line, and maybe because of the wife, you know, the wife is a hardcore Biafra. Hardcore. Solomon's wife is a hardcore Biafra. That's what I like. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? You see?
Hello?
Yes, please, your name and where you're calling from?
Oh, thank God. My name is Ijoma. I'm calling from Sweden.
Ijoma from Sweden. Go ahead, please. We're listening.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm from Omaya to be precise.
Omaya.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm so excited that I'm able to reach you this morning. This is just more than big for me. And I want to say thank you so much for what you have been doing. And there's this revelation I got, and I've been trying to reach to you to talk about it. I think ending of 2 months ago, I was meditating in the middle of the night, a word called Ikukwamanonya. I was meditating with that word. So suddenly, I got a revelation, and I saw Fulanis, the Kabas. They are more than 20 with their hair being wrapped with this long hair tie and with the big clothes they are wearing. So the next thing I saw, they were all moving with, and I was like, what is going on here? And the next thing I saw, they all got blind. All of them, they all got blind. They couldn't see anymore. I was like, Jesus, I just jumped out from my bed. I was like, God, what is going on? I said, what is this? And the Spirit of God told me that these are the enemies of Biafra, the Kabas, the Fulanis, the Fulanis. That Biafra is a spiritual thing. That the battle has been fought already spiritually, and it has been won spiritually. He now said that we should not be afraid that they will come in Biafra land, heavenly. None of them will go scot-free.
They will not go free.
Exactly what I heard.
The army of Nigeria will die in Biafra land. I'm telling you the truth.
Yes.
They will die there.
Exactly.
You will see.
He said, don't be afraid that they will come in. Obviously, they will come in. But they will never, none of them will ever go scot-free. That I saw.
Very
that
good.
They all went blind. Meaning, when they come, physically, that none of them will go scot-free. So when that spirit told me, remember what I told you, that they will not go free.
They will not go.
I was so excited.
I'm so glad.
And then before yesterday again, I had another dream again. I saw myself in Biafra land. The whole floor, the whole road, everywhere, the whole ground was pumping out with blood. Everywhere was pumping blood. And I was like, God, what is going on? And the next thing, I saw myself, I want to take a shower in that dream. And I saw in that dream, in the whole Biafra land. And they were like, what is going on? Blood, they are pumping out from the ground. Everyone was soaked with blood.
Let me just stay where you are for a second. I want to clarify something for people to follow this. I know sometimes we say we read the Torah, the Old Testament, the scriptures, but we don't learn anything from it. We're always afraid of war. Every time we are afraid, hey, we don't want another war. We don't want another war. Let me tell you something. Some of you've seen Israel. We're hailing them, the Iron Dome, how they were fighting terrorism and all the rest of it. Everybody was clapping. But that same Israel was invaded by the Amorites, the Amalekites, the Canaanites. They were invaded by the Babylonians. The Hittites came and invaded them. They named them now. The Assyrians came and killed them. The Romans came and killed them. The Europeans even came. Despite how the land of Israel was flowing with for nearly 4,500 years, it did not stop this generation of Benjamin Netanyahu from rising up and defending Israel the way it did for the past 2 weeks. So our land is going to flow with blood, but it is going to flow with the blood of the enemy. That I can assure you, because they will die there. And my sister, before you go, one thing I want to ask you, you said you're from Old Omai. I know how the name Old Omai came about. So forget about Old Omai. It's a white man's name that the colonial man gave to us when they were coming from Aba. Are you from Ume Lady or Ibeji? Where do you come from?
From Umechoko village.
Umechoko village. Umechoko village is the wider clan of Umechoko. Where did they come from? The wider clan.
Honestly, I don't know that history.
Now, you see, yeah, that's the problem that we have. I am from Isiama Afaruku. Afaruku is in the Ibeku clan. You understand me? I am from Isiama. Isiama is in Afara. Afara is, in fact, basically, I am from Omodoma. Omodoma in Etitinabo. Etitinabo is in Isiama. Isiama is in Afaruku. Afaruku is in Ibeku. That's where I come from. Because we keep using this word, Old Omai. That's where you come, you say you're from Old Omai. And I keep asking them, are you from Ibeji? Or where do you actually come from? Because these are the two. Umuchoko must come from somewhere. There must be, as I said before, I've told you where I come from. There must be something sitting on top of it. That's what I want to know. The white man came to Afibeji, saw people trading and asked them, what's the name of this place? The woman said to them, this is Omahia. They said, oh, this is Omahia. When they came to beach market, Ogumabri and Omahia, they saw the same people trading and said, this is now Omahia. They now called you Old Omahia. Old people. They now named you Old Omahia. There is nothing like Old Omahia. People from that part of the world, a place that I love very much, must go back and tell me what their name is, not Old Omahia. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very, very much. Very close to home, I must say. I have a caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please.
I can hear you, sir. Good morning, Uncle.
Good morning.
My name is Biafra Kanu. I'm from Abiba. I'm calling you from Italy.
From Italy. Please go ahead.
Please, I have two questions to ask you, sir. From where I come from Abiba, there are some of our names like Avo, as I normally say now, Avo, Carlo, Man, Onoa, all those names. In our childhood, we are meant to understand that those names are like evil names. Please, and I want to see how you can do something on that. Maybe explain to us, that's our name, that's the name from where we came from, But you are trying to make to understand their evil names.
There is nothing like that. It's an idiot. So what's the meaning of Smith? Huh? I'm asking them. What is the meaning of Biden? Does it have any meaning? Does it have any meaning? There is no way that Avo can be a bad name. All our names, before, if you give birth to a child where we come from, you think very carefully before naming that very child. Because everybody where we come from, even if your mom were to die at childbirth, and your father died before you were given birth to, you have uncles, you come from somewhere. Everybody comes from somewhere. We're not like the Janjaweed. When they give birth to you in Kotangora, you answer Mama in Kotangora. They give birth to you in Funtua. Your name becomes Isa Funtua because you have no father. Where we come from, you must have kindred. You must have kindred. People should go back and read things fall apart over and over and over and over and over again to understand who we are and where we are coming from and where we're going to. You must have a kindred. Any name you are given to has a spiritual connotation. It serves a purpose. Don't allow these idiots that go to all these stupid Pentecostal schools to come back and be talking rubbish with their fake American accent, telling you nonsense about Christianity. Don't allow that to cloud your sense of judgment. All our names are very, very special. All our names are very, very precious. And I must let people understand this. The only reason why the religion of the white man took hold where we come from is this, was because there were some practices we were involved in that was basically against the law of the land itself. As I said, go back to Things Fall Apart and read it. You will remember that Moye said to the father Okonkwo that Ikemefuna was innocent of whatever thing that happened in his village. That was why he ran and joined the church. People must understand this very clearly. Thank you very much. I have another caller on the line. This caller, please give us your name and where you're calling from. The world is listening.
Yeah, good morning, my Lord and my Savior, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, His Excellency. Mazi, my name is Ozemena. I'm calling from Dakar, Senegal.
Yes, go ahead.
Please, Mazi, there are two things I want to point out right now, and it is very, very crucial and very, very important in this struggle. One is the Igwe of Arondi Zogo. The Igwe of Arondi Zogo, is a Guzman. An intelligent gathering. They have an intelligent gathering that they are going to be pointing out all IPOB members in Arondi Zogo. That they are going to eliminate every single IPOB member in Arondi Zogo. Mazi, please check this information very well and verify it. It is a very rightful source information. I'm telling you the facts. Then secondly, Mazi, when are we going to be pointing out all these Igwes in our land? Because they are the ones putting us in this mayhem that we are seeing ourselves now. Because without these Igwes, without these chiefs, and without this, what do we call them, in our villages, these people will not know who is IPOB or who is not IPOB. These people are doing a grassroots job.
Don't worry about it. You will hear their story because I said when we descend on them, people will say, oh, did we not tell you? They are now killing themselves. Now that your uncle, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your whoever is an informant, pointing at people, you will not see them. Any day we cut out that finger that is using to point at people, you will start complaining. We know what we are going to do and the time is over. Thank you for telling me about this out on this work, fool. We shall descend on him. Don't worry about that. You see what is going to happen to him. Thank you very, very much. He said, and bless you too. Bless you too. I have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you're calling from, if you may.
I've been trying the line since morning, since you.
in English, please. The world is listening, including Captain Alan, the British High Commissioner to the Zoo. Go ahead.
Okay, I speak in English, my brother. I'm a minister of the ministers, because I'm into theology school. So I went there. I understand what this word is all about. So I'm trying to educate those people on the head. That's why I give myself this title, Minister of the Ministers.
Go ahead.
Because those common people walking on the street, they have no problem. They've been killing us and we've been suffering. I'm married with 4 children and I struggle to suffer, to survive. I have lived in abroad for over 15 years and they bring me back home and they send a white man here to teach me in theology school. And I said to the white man, what are you coming to teach me? You deport me all the way from your country. And I come here, you are trying to give me another doctrine and to deport me into the grave. And all the student was against me. But now I try to tell him that here I'm standing is my land and is my Biafra land. And I will defend it with every other thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is that what you are doing is a very good work. Whenever I'm needed, you have my number. You should call me. I will dedicate even my life, my family, to see that Biafra comes. And I have a revelation yesterday. I was in the revelation. We are jubilating and dancing that this Biafra have arrived.
Yes.
And by God's grace, I pray because I preach the true gospel. Because people don't understand who God is. In the beginning, he said, God created the heaven and earth. He was with nobody. Then you move a little further. You will hear when God say, I created everything and I give you power of everything. Why would you go and be searching for power somewhere when you don't know how to collect power from the God Almighty that created you? Every day I cry and weep to pray for Biafra to come. Somebody spending over 15 years in abroad and come back home, there is nowhere to fix himself. And I said, okay, I will go to theology school and find out the real foundation of this earth. And I thank God that I begin to find it. When I stand to minister, everybody is mocking at me. Everybody is talking. Say, why am I? I say, I cannot come out and preach what God did not give me. So, Daddy, I'm very, very grateful. Your message and everything. I pray that God will strengthen you. And nothing will happen to you. All the time I see you in my dream and in my revelation. They attack you, but you stand.
I love the attack.
Come to a time.
If I'm not being attacked, I won't be happy. I love the attack. If there is no enemy, I create one. If there is no enemy, I create one myself. I love fighting. I love it. If there is no Janjaweed, I will create another. I will even go to Nigeria Republic to look for them. I will go to Mali to look for them. I will look for Fulani wherever they are and I will make trouble with them. That's how it is. Thank you very much. And remain very truthful, loyal, and focused on what you're doing. People were complaining about one idiot in her on this work. Look at what happened to Dieter Spiff. The Arch himself and Edwin Clark. These are hardcore saboteurs. Look at the life there. The youths got together into one brass and drove the idiot away, and ransacked the whole palace, burnt his limousine, his driving limousine. Whereas others cannot have 3 square meals to eat in a day. Because the zoo, the government, they give him money. He says he's the king. He's answering king. That idiot. Get a spiff. They sack. That's what we should be doing. Stop complaining. Go down on this work and drag out the idiot. And pour fuel on him and set him alight. We tolerate too much nonsense and we keep complaining. You know what to do. And you are waiting for me to tell you what to do. No. Do it. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello, Mazi. His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I greet you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, your name and where you're calling from?
Some people. My name is Chidi, but I'm calling from Hong Kong.
From Hong Kong, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, some people are very annoyed that our brother from Kenya gave you the title His Excellency, and since then we've been celebrating with that His Excellency, and some people are very angry and have been trying it. So Mazi, I normally always ask questions about what Biafra is going to be and the kind of government we're going to run, but the tension is very high now, so I'm not going to talk about that because the enemy is at the gate.
The enemy is at the gate. The enemy is at the gate. They have come. as I knew they
to
would.
discuss on strategies. Well, I believe that you have read 48 Laws of Power. If you haven't, I recommend it back to back. That is one, but I believe you have. Now, secondly, if I don't know how to put this. Okay, let me put it this way. When we're supposed to have a way of sending a very kind message to the leadership of these soldiers coming down in the north. When it gets to where to get to, if we don't have something, they will keep coming. But when the message gets home,
it will get home soon. Don't worry about. I don't want us to go into details. Don't worry about that. The message will get home. So as I promised them, they will come to our land. They're going to die there. So why are we bothered? Blood is going to flow. We know that very well.
Your intelligence drives me.
It's a very simple ploy. As they are now in the battlefield, they'll be receiving news how the real bandits have taken over their villages. How can they fight anymore? Their morale will be reduced, and then we'll use their blood to water our land very well. They're going to, all of them will die there. Write it down on a piece of paper. Write it this very morning of the 28th of May. Write it down what I said. You see all these people coming into our land, they're all going to die there. We know what to do. We know what to do. We know how to kill them, and they're all going to die. Be rest assured.
You're blessed. Sometimes I worry too much, but whenever I talk to you, whenever I listen to you, it seems that you have everything covered. I don't even know what.
We know what we are doing. There is a method to our madness. We know what we're doing. We are taking because our people are Republicans by instinct, by genetic disposition. That is who they are. So you must take them along every step of the way. What we are doing today. Had we launched ESN, say 3 years ago, our people won't support it.
No, we could have failed. Our people would be
exactly. So everything needs to happen in its time. You know, at the appropriate time you do it. That is why when our people come out to be hailing men on the streets, because they understand what these people mean for them. They know it very well. And they know that nobody means well for them more than this IPOB. We are the ones who, if not for IPOB, those of them now looking for money from Dave Umahi, are they not, if not for IPOB, by now those people would have been answering Muhammad, or goodness knows what else. We saved them.
There is something else I want to say, please.
Right.
Our people should learn. Yes, I know that men on ground, our people love them, our people want to cheer them up, our people want to show them support. But please, when these people are working, when they are doing their duties, get out of the way. Stop coming out to make pictures or to praise them. Because if they have confrontation with the police or with these people, there's going to be casualties. Bullets will touch people and they will say people are dying. Stay away from them. Whenever they are walking, just stay as far away as you can. Stop going close to praise them. Because if they have any confrontation, they are armed men. They have to defend themselves. And people will fall because you are standing there and you are not protected. And people should stay away whenever they see these guys doing their job. I don't know why our people don't listen. They would like to go close and be saying, yes, we know that we are all happy with what they are doing. But you must not put your life in it. Because they will be counting it that our people are dying too.
That is true.
We are dying out of stupidity. Another thing, there's something else I want to talk about I saw a video of some young men burning down a king's house in Bayelsa State. I don't know if you saw that video.
Yes, I saw it. Of Data Speak. He's not a king, anything.
Yeah.
What is a king? We don't have kings in our land.
I don't know.
He's a village head. What stupid king is he? Who made him king?
One of the first whatever governor of.
He is the first saboteur. He's the first sabo. Go on, created River State and appointed him. He's a saboteur.
In those videos, the young men from those communities are speaking Igbo. Yes, they say these people are enjoyed that they are not part of us. No, the young men in the video from the community that are burning the man's house, they speak Igbo language. I don't understand. I was hearing everything they were saying. Yeah, they say these people are biased, that they are enjoyed, they are this, they are not part of us.
I want to let you understand. Listen, I want you to understand something with our listeners this morning. Let me tell you something. I think I've said this thing before, live on air. Do you know that Joseph was sold by his brothers? You are aware of that? Who sold Joseph?
Exactly.
Who sold Joseph?
His brothers.
So see some of them as so when they sold the should I say the Igbo speaking part, or no, I would say Igbo speaking part, when they sold their own brothers across Imo River, they were doing exactly what happened to Joseph. And the glory remained with Joseph. And the glory shall remain with our people.
And it was still Joseph that rescued them.
I didn't want to go further.
That's what it's really happening.
I didn't want to go
They
further.
had to repent.
I didn't want to go further.
Yes.
I didn't want to go any further.
No. You connect. This is exactly. You did the very wonderful connection here. I love it.
That's the way it is. We shouldn't be too distressed. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you. He said he's a king. Which stupid king? A saboteur is a king. The caller on the line, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are, if you may. No, they are no longer there. There are way too many calls. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Sir, I am highly grateful. My name still remains Pastor Chris Wise. I'm calling you from Cambodia. I'm representing Biafran here in Cambodia, and Biafran Cambodians are doing wonderfully well. Yes. And we are working hard to kind of coordinate with the other of our family in the whole work concerning the support of ESN.
Yes.
Maybe in a short few days right now you will hear from us, and at the same time, when the due process now is being done, we'll get to you, because Biafrans all in Cambodia here, they want to hear from you. They really want to hear from you, and everybody is supporting what we're doing. So I'm so much glad for a kind of speaking with you this very hour. And another thing that I want to say right now is that is it normal for people from our place as it is right now, as it is hot, to call and say that they are calling from so and so place? Because all these informations that Nigerians who are getting, most of them, they get it from the callers. Most of them are kind of being gathered from people beside them. I'm just suggesting on my own, open and demand all from Africa Biafra land. That's what I can do that. Because
no, people will still call, because there are many Ifeanyi Chukwus in Aba. If you say Ifeanyi Chukwu, I'm calling from Aba, I don't think that places you in a very high risk. And please stay on the line. What I want to report is that, as I said before, they want to attack Alaba International Market in Lagos with the help of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They want to attack Alaba International Market and burn it down. They want to attack it. I'm warning now, not tomorrow. Now they'll say, oh, it's ESN. ESN came to Lagos. Tinubu will use all his media contacts, all his Yoruba newspapers to be writing rubbish. I want to warn our people in Lagos to be on the alert, to be very vigilant, because they are coming to burn Alaba Electronics Market. Very, very important, please. Thank you very much. I have another caller on the line. Can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. Your name and where you are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning to you, please. Your name and where you are. Your name and where you are.
I'm calling from Dubai, UAE.
From UAE. Okay. And your name, your first name only. What is your first name?
Obijuru Kenneth Onyekachi.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I'm grateful. I thank God to get you online today.
Thank you very much.
I pray that Nachuku Kebema will be with us. Biafra is already in the ground.
Of course.
So I wish that now our people can understand that what our leader is talking. So nothing will stop Biafra. I pray that now God will guide us and protect us and make us to see Biafra.
You see?
You see?
You see? Thank you very, very much for that. Thank you very much for that. I have another caller on the other line. This caller, can you hear me, please?
Yes. Good morning, Onishi.
Good morning to you, please. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Mazi Nnamdi from
Moriak. That name is... Oh, that's correct. Olokoro, of course. Olokoro. Oh, one day, you couldn't know Makadi Olokoro Itu. That's where my grandma comes from. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I can notice that many of us don't understand your preaching about divide and rule. Many people, because of their age, I know my age, many people don't know the meaning of divide and rule. That is happening in Ikwano Mwanya. When they have did something divide and rule. You cannot change the location of Government College Umaya. The location of Government College Umaya now is in Ikwano or local government. But they cannot change the location. My people.
That is rubbish. It's not in Ikwano.
Yes, but they cannot change the address. They cannot change
the. It's not in Ikwano. It's in Ibeku. Government College Umaya is in Ibeku. The river there is the Umaya. That river. That main road stream, yes. For those of them that went to, those of us that went to Government College Umaya, main road stream down the road where Abanikoku is the boundary between Ibeku and Umaya. It's as simple as that. So, Government College Umaya is in the main inside Ibeku. Abanikoku, I don't know what it's called now. It used to be called Alvan in those days. I don't know what they call it now. Maybe it's Abia State University, College of Education, or whatever. Part of it can be found inside Ikwano. Federal University of Agriculture is in Ikwano. The boundary itself is the river. After all, Fisher Primary School, you know the primary school opposite, Fisher Primary School is in Ibeku land. Okay. They must get it right. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say, these people started earlier in divide and rule. Let our people go back to the time of 19 states. How many states make up Biafran land? How many states is Biafran land? All these divide and rule have put many people in confusion.
Of course. Of course.
We know how many states that is in Biafran land or call it the Igbo state. Why our people are being deceived?
They are being deceived because, as I said before, we love to eat our own flesh. As you heard, there is a village head in Arondi's work that wants to serve the zoo. We complain about people from Brass. Of course, everybody's here. We have been saying this from day one. They speak Igbo. Everybody. If you're from a Joland, you're from Arochukwu, it's as simple as that. You can debate from now till the kingdom come. That is a fact. You cannot remove that. If you're from Igbo, you're descended from Unkwe. It's as simple as that. You can steal your brother's property, steal his wife, and claim abandoned property, and be a product of, should I say, a child that benefited from stolen goods. That's entirely your business. But you cannot erase fact. You cannot erase history. Let me make one thing very clear. What is the difference between, let's say, Edwin Clark and Wike or Rogers? It's the same thing. There are people that hate their people. Some people come out, they came to this life to despite, to help the enemy to conquer their own people. That's what some of these governors are doing. All they're doing is trying to help the enemy to conquer their people. That's what they're doing. And they think they will go scot-free later on. No, because the version of Islamic jihad that is coming will not even spare them unless they convert and become their slaves. As I keep saying all the time, anybody that mouths his or her one Nigeria, I ask them to please take out time. Once you go and you study Hausa history, the history of the Hausa people, and how today nobody remembers them anymore. It's now Fulani everywhere. If you finish reading or studying Hausa history, you come back to me and you still say one Nigeria, then I will follow you. Go and study Hausa history. That's something that they do not know. Thank you very much, my dear brother from Olokoro. Thank you very, very much. And millions of people here. I have 30,000 missed calls. Can you believe that? 30,000 missed calls. Unbelievable. On Signal alone, not even on WhatsApp. That is astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. Thank you, all of you that called in. I will be back again live. That will be on Monday morning. On Monday morning, I will be live on air. Monday morning, there may be a slightly time of, say, 9 a.m. No, I will start from 7. 7 a.m. in the morning, Biafra land time on Monday. We are going to be live as we ensure that the city, I'll be reporting the city at home. And of course, we get reporters all over the place phoning in and telling us precisely what is happening on the ground. But this morning, I thank all of you very much for listening. I know that millions more listen after the broadcast. I don't know why. Maybe they're scared that their name will show or it will appear. but a lot of people do listen after the broadcast. I want to make it very clear to some of you who may not know what we stand for, is that we stand for the liberation of the land of Biafra. They can call us whatever they like. They can call us South, they can call us Niger Delta, all these meaningless names. At the end of the day, we are from one family, we are one people. Our origin, our root is traceable to one source, and we are interconnected. But that doesn't mean we have to live under one monolithic system, no. Every ethnic nationality in Biafra land, even if there are only 500 people, if they want to assert their distinctiveness, will be granted same. In Biafra land, there will be a separate nation under Biafra. If they want to be independent later on down the line, that's entirely their business, because we are going to demonstrate to the world that we are Democrats at heart. That is why to us, Biafra is more than freedom fighting. It is more than a nation. It is more than a country. The Biafra we are fighting for is more like a religion itself. And that is why here on Radio Biafra is where we worship. And above all, we do not bow down before any idol. None whatsoever. Chukwukikabiyama in heaven is our God. I thank you all very much for listening. With all the love in my heart from me from here, as always, it is. Good morning.